Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the frozen wasteland of the Incan necrocracy. I believe we are technically. Ruled by a regent on behalf of all of our previous dead monarchs. Alright. Where's the next road spot? Somewhere, maybe. I don't know. I'm slowly trying to expand. This is a gold RGO, so I actually don't want to build into this. It's always weird for me to want to do it that way. Because I'm used to gold being like super valuable. But my economy is just not large enough to allow me to exploit gold. You know? And I wish that were not the case. And there's potatoes in Cusco, so it's tough. I think I actually maybe want to go here. I don't know, is beeswax particularly productive? So this is apparently 75% control already, which is pretty good. Yeah. Oh. It's downstream along the river twice, so... Okay, fair enough. 0.65, which means about 0.8 in total. In comparison, Cuzco, I get 0.24 for half, so... Yeah, it's not quite as good. I'm slowly just trying to figure out where and what I need to be going for. I think Yanahura is the correct one. So we'll build a road to there. Because even with this little control, this gem is producing 0.6 in profit. So I think that's definitely going to be worth it. We're also still developing, you know, the wool RGO here, which will help with food. This area is in Tucusa, which I think should have, hopefully... damn, chili isn't food. Copper isn't food. Lead isn't food. And gems isn't food. Okay, it's got maize here, even if it's in the Arctic, which isn't great. But, like... it'll do. Minus 53% here. It will slowly get better. But yeah, birds complain. Yeah, maybe we can help. So relax on the aristocracy a bit. The nobles are too powerful. I'm trying to restore crown power, but that is at least somewhat difficult. I've been doing my damnedest to blow up as many, whatever you want to call them, panakas as I can. But inevitably I end up with a lot of them. Okay, the RGO is actually really cheap to expand here. That's good. Terraces for food production. Okay, there's no building, I think, that I can build that will help with that. Increase settler loyalty, since we already did a negative event. 84.59. No, that's not changing right now. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it doesn't. I think it's like mostly dependent on whether or not it has the resources. You know? Although I always forget how to check, so it's tough to say. You know? I'm hoping that we will have the resources for the settlement here. If I can ever remember how to check what resources it needs. I want to say it needs, like, distilled stuff, which we now do produce in the capital. Too many cowards. Well, that's fine. We barely have any of that. I did, in fact, just build a sergeantry. Ooh. Alright, we settled the frontier again. Okay. The purpose of the sergeantry is so that I can actually explore, like, Chile and continue along the coastline. We're going to become a long nation. Very long. I'm also debating the potential of moving the market capital down a little bit. Like, if I move the market... Well, actually, first off, what does it take to relocate a market? 800 gold. Woof. Like, could I get it closer to the capital in such a way that, you know, would be good. Just hypothetically here. Would be the same to there, pretty much. Have to say for sure. This is obviously, yeah, gonna struggle due to severe winters. We've gained a core. Puna is now considered a core. Good. I should actually begin a new settlement of the frontier. Time for the next one. What zone's actually the most populous? Zilang. Woman. Really? Huh. Alright. Sure. Taking from Zilang then. And again, we just want to pick pretty much the youngest, so they are most likely to survive. Alright, so this is actually going to take us up to this part of the border too. Yeah, I'm going to need money and people in order to pull that off. Alright. Yeah. I'm worried about Tuxa not having enough food. But you can lose some satisfaction, that's fine. It's pretty clear I'm going to need to build up some maize here. As well as probably the farming villages. Yeah. So we'll get this area started and developed. You know, we are actually having enough of an income that I can begin real development. I also need to replace you in the cabinet, it seems. This is a diplomatic thing, so yeah, you. The assimilation's going kind of well, it looks like. Yeah, this used to only be like 2 to 3% of our country. And annexation of Pakajaki is coming along nicely. That should open up some opportunities. So, yeah, our maximum manpower is 300. I'm glad to see it. Yeah, take the 7 stability. Because, yeah, we don't need more literacy. Our people are already pretty close to max. Our max literacy is just garbage. So how are we doing over here? 8656. That has moved a little bit, but not much. Sometimes it moves. Oh, 8677, yeah. Just trying to keep building. Yeah. Alright. Build another maze, that's always good. Yeah. With these winters, it can make it so hard there. The gems, though... Like, this area should be much better controlled, and we'll be getting better with the Tambo. Maximum controls hang for 50. So that should be hopefully decent. And yeah, already dropped for levels 0.8, 0.81. So all of that is getting better. And how is this place? 0.53, not bad. Try and eradicate the problem. Alright. Develop the interior. Like, the problem is, am I ever really going to be able to build enough gravel roads for it to be worth it, right? Like 117, so even if I get it down to under 100 with that. It's kind of tough. In comparison, develop the interior, I only get a little bit of, like, land. And this place gets development. And I mean, it's becoming somewhat developed, you know? Thankfully, we do have a decent bit of like techs and stuff, and our government type to help. So like, even in these shitty, terrible mountains, it's not like the worst development you've ever seen. We're building. We're building a society here, you know? Mine's not 36. Yeah, I don't really expect you to produce anything. Let's destroy this Panaka. That way I can have some crown power here now that we're actually getting some control. I could take out the loan to do it, because if I want to develop maize here as well, it's not a bad idea. Expand the gravel road network. Okay, how much money do I need? Build a road here. 94 gold mine. Sounds good. This place, it's still in Acamarca, so let's go as potato. Which, yeah, only 0.25, so. Yeah. I'll take out the loans, it's worth. Parliament members in scandal. Arrest them. Okay. And I guess, yeah, I have to wait for the road to actually be built. Never crown the regent. I'll hail the eternal regency of the dead. Alright. Sure. Yeah, this is still just gonna keep filling up for quite a while. Market. Expand the gravel road network, yeah. But yeah, this is up to minus 43, so it's not too bad. Yeah, even in the winter, the province food is only -6. Irrigation's the only thing that can be built there. Yeah, the market villages are nice. Or not market villages, sorry, farming villages are nice. They really help buy off some of this last little bit of penalty we have. Repay one of the loans. The Cusco earthquake. Apparently we built a library here. It looks like this was relatively untouched. Cusco, yeah. Like, thankfully we didn't have a whole lot, so. I'm worried because, you know, our capital took a hit, but it looks like we're okay. The important stuff survived. Repay another loan. A new regent has been appointed. Well, unfortunately, people are still constructing irrigations. I'm not happy about that, and I do need to probably purge some that have been built. And I have to be aware of that. One temple, 12 castle, a sawmill, yeah, that's fine. Oh no. Yay! More random negative events. Perfect. Yeah, one of the things I think I need is actually mendicants, so I've been floating the idea of creating a colonial charter here, or otherwise. Trying to secure some. It's November, so like the campaigning season's begun. I don't know. It doesn't seem worth it to really conquer these people. Because no matter what, it's it's, you know, 20-odd stability per war. There's no real way to change that. Oh, hey, look. Farming village done. Gravel road. Alright. So yeah, maximum control setting up to 68. There's no point in taking that second one right now. Better just to repay this loan. Send you. Okay. And how's our religion and culture doing? Yeah, we ended up getting a lot of random religions. So getting them all converted is still going to take a while. Back key is getting close. Good. There's going to be terraces here in this lumber place. Okay, so this is a terrible place for a terrace. And these peasants. They're constantly apparently upset and ignored, but also I pay too much attention to them. Maybe a freaking mind game. Feels bad getting both of those events, especially like back to back like that. Okay, Yunka has more than enough food, I don't have to worry about that. Which isn't shocking given, you know, it's mostly, if not actually entirely, continental or tropical. So it barely suffers. 94.38, good stuff. Yeah, keep going. 155 is not good enough. You know? Yeah, we're gonna completely run out of peasants. We need to build a tambo. Get even more control here. This is still expanding slowly. Yeah, that's the problem with serfdom. My pops do promote fairly slowly. But the other advantages cannot be undersold, so. I'm actually wondering if I want to put a Pucara down here. That'd be extra garrison size and fort defense. It's probably fine if I don't. Last guild. Yep. Attack is always the best option. But yeah, now we currently have minus 42%, which isn't too bad for winter, you know? Gotta try and keep the provincial food stable as I develop this region. Because, like, there's a lot of mines here, you know? And I don't know, maybe lead and copper are actually going to be valuable at some point in the future. Sure hope so. Man, the continued development of these regions is pretty good, I think. Like, we're expanding our tax base and making more money relatively off of taxation. Which may mean I can develop a gold mine at some point and not lose out on tons of money. As the amount of silver I produce kind of becomes like less and less as a thing. Well, hold on. I can now create a new colonial charter here. Okay, so this is actually the first recording in a new session, so I think I had to reload to fix this bug, I guess. And that's probably what happened. Well, should definitely try and get it. It's literally adjacent to our capital, so. Yeah, I'm not rich enough to explore, which is a shame. Although that will change in time. Make sure to get that built. I'm going to soon try and build this gold mine, I think. Like I say, we're getting a lot of resources. And with all these farming villages built here, hopefully, you know, the winter is going to be less of a problem. It still is plus 158%, so I don't think it's actually working so well. But yeah, want to make sure that Tuxa is actually fed. You know? Honestly, that's a lot of what my setup is slowly, like, expanding out a stable food network. Alright. Let's see. Got lots to do. I'd like to also be, you know, creating colonial charters and the like, so it's tough, but we'll see. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna build a gold mine. It'll probably take a couple of years and all that to really get going. So let's get it started early. Good. Okay, minus 40%. That's a little better. Only minus 5.81 right now. That's good. It is what we like to see. We shall do something. Does piracy law? Yeah. Yeah, I guess. We'll call Parliament. Alright, so within the year, it looks like, we should be good. Yeah. Stupid great relations. Rest them. Yeah. I don't know. I do want to attack them at some point, but the problem is I have enough stuff to develop at this point where it's like warfare isn't really profitable for me anymore. Also doesn't help that overall my levies haven't really changed much. Part of that is because I've gotten rid of so many of the damn Panakas, which do give me a pile of troops. But, you know, in return, I have crown power now. Well, some crown power. It's still not great. Nice. Alright, so we've now reached the top along the coast here, which is great. I mean, Rupa. Okay, so this whole region is Rupa. Yeah, you know, that's fine. Let's settle the frontier there. Yeah, Zlang, decent number. Woman Karpa. That is kind of like a core region of mine, so I don't want to take a bunch of people from it. You guys go there. So, we'll push our way into the jungle. A little bit there. Alright. Good. Even as the winter grows colder, things get a little better. Unfortunately, this place is still short 1 million peasants. So it's still minus 38, which is not great. market villages. The chilies ain't too bad. Also make sure to construct a tambo. Annexing back at your key. Good. So, culture. Yeah, the Aymar are 26% of our population now. That's fine. Alright. There seems to be a pretty tiny amount of road network here. Yeah, we also lost a decent bit of Diplo income, unfortunately. And I assume other expenses like our court and stability are now higher. A market warehouse and Antiquala. Yeah, there's going to be buildings I want to take down. In this region, to be sure. I'll have to find them. Yeah, sorry, I can't afford something like a market warehouse. Libraries, marketplaces in the Antiquala market. There's 6 apparently. We'll also toss out the granaries. We don't need them. At least generally not. You know, I promote a more stable food production plan. So apparently there's 6 market... Ah, here's 4 of them. Two irrigations in the Antiquala. Yeah. There's apparently still 2 marketplaces. And some irrigation. Okay. There, that helps a lot. But yeah, it's pretty clear I've got to be at least somewhat careful right now. I don't know. It might be worth it for me to, like, respin these off as vassals. But it's tough, you know? Our control is unfortunately pretty bad. Like, we're stuck in a situation where, realistically, it's probably best for me to have a bunch of vassals just kind of scattered about. You know? And leave it like that. But I'm kind of concerned about what that would mean for the Europeans, and being able to present a united front and army and everything seems reasonable for me. So... faith, maneuvering him. Okay. Yeah. I do kind of just want to go and murder them. Campaigning season has begun. Alright. Maize, super productive. Gold still isn't even up yet. That will need expansion. Good, this is doing well. But yeah, no, we can like have at least a little bit of control in our surrounding provinces, which is nice. Yeah, here we have Tukriya Puapu. Good. Every little bit helps, right? Alright. Took mine around, fair enough. So I have a stockade to protect this flank. They might be able to get around it by going through here, which worries me. But like that shouldn't be a good idea for them. The keyword is shouldn't. That is a real keyword there. Should not be good for them to do that. They'll have to walk through a pile of unsettled jungle. That should be their death. How many fucking forts are you bringing today? Jesus Christ. Okay. 12,000 goes there. Alright, gather up. You guys will be hanging out down here. Where the winter won't be too much of a problem for you. Ah, shit, yeah. I guess we do have some troops in the north, huh? That's fine. We can't stop the siege until November at the bare minimum. That's useless in our capital. Yeah. Neutral food's -8. That's not too bad here, really. Minus 57%. Unfortunately, you know, it's going to be a long time before the market or the farming villages are actually working at full speed. Unfortunately, knowing my luck, they are in fact about to take that. Oh no, hold on. I need to make sure. Auto refill the garrison always. Please and thank you. No, you didn't that time. So yeah, we just can't do anything until this is done, but it's like we will not be there until December. At the earliest. I can actually rush up through here, so. Yeah, that's not a huge shock. Oh no, that wasn't our fort. That was another random provincial capital. Okay. We're a mild winter here. Good God, why does this winter not let up? We actually did manage to relieve that fort. I was expecting that to not go as well as it did. Anyway, retreat. And link up with our main force. attack here. And then counterattack. Alright, we apparently suffered really badly because Lord knows our flanks were probably not balanced, yeah. Alright. I don't know. I think theoretically this guy got ruthless, right? Is assaulting a fort ever worth it? I don't know. I feel like the answer is no. I also feel like the AI is kind of cheated and managed to put together way more troops than it otherwise should. I don't know. I guess maybe the answer is I actually do just kind of keep smashing them here. At these sorts of fights. Rather than trying to take decent-sized pitch battles or anything. Yeah, so that's another minus 5,400. Yeah, we are now have attacker taking more score. It's probably not going to be the overwhelming victory I had hoped for, but it should hopefully be a start. They don't actually seem to have that many troops. Government functions breaking down. Yeah, well, our government functions extend about a road away from the capital, so that's true most of the time. I don't know why it's any different right now. At any given point in time, our government functions have mostly broken down. What a nice fleet you have there. Yeah. It's actually incredible that you apparently have this many fucking boats, by the way. Take a little bit more of the chime you. I think that my ultimate goal in this war is actually just to weaken this alliance, because holy shit, this alliance is concerningly strong. I'm not sure I care if we really fail an assault, though. If I can just push through and break it, and then, you know, fall back and re-raise my troops, come back. So yeah, I don't know, let's try it. Bartering to continue. Yeah, we only lost 3,000 then. But we killed half the fort, and we should win the next round. There. Alright, this completely crushes their ability to resist and puts everything on the table. Down to a minus 20. Minus 15. So, yeah, I can basically relegate these guys to a single province up there and take some money. Honestly, I'm willing to let you guys maybe keep second province, depending on how much you can pay. You know? I think 120 gold's worth it. You guys can keep those 3 provinces even, because I'm so nice. Yep. Okay, not you. I don't want to be putting, like, good generals in on that. Okay. Morocco. But yeah, congratulations to us. Lord knows I need to tear down some shit here. Let's see. No slave pens. Libraries are a no-go. It's not like I need the ability to read. What are we gonna research? Oh yeah, nothing. That's what. That's what we're gonna fucking research. Nothing. Shockingly, there's very little of, like, irrigation and stuff here. I would have expected more. But that's okay. So why am I still losing money? Well, there's apparently the incredibly high cost of court. As far as I can tell, cost of court and stuff kind of scales off my land. So having so much low control land is killing me. You know? In order to better fund things, I need better control throughout my territory. Which, easier said than done. So I just want to check inflation is steady. Excellent. And build a road out here. Integrating Ishma. Okay. But yeah. Slowly growing. I just need to figure out how to better get... Well, we're fine as long as... Well, I don't say fine. Our income is absolute garbage. Which is a problem. Part of that is just the cost of court is so damn high, stability is high, our ever increasing cost of buildings as we get more terraces that probably aren't necessary, but unless I want to go through and audit a lot of that. Am I really going to be tearing all that shit down? I don't know. Like, this place is cold, arid plateau with potatoes. Like, this is a breadbasket for Madawaria, you know? So, realistically, tear down any terrace built in here. And then we talk about the Sura province. Cold arid plateau, yep, okay. With livestock, so... Screw the terrace there. Then there's Tiahuanaco. Cold arid plateau. Ooh, Arctic. Cold arid plateau potatoes. This is the only place that should have a terrace. then Pomata in Chuchito. Like, this is the breadbasket for this region, so... Auditing my fucking terraces because they just kind of get built everywhere now. I don't know, it's potatoes. I feel like I should probably keep the terrace. Potatoes kind of get a bit of a free pass in some places because they're just extra powerful under me. Okay. Well, at least this place is not mountains, so it should be okay. Keep the terrace there. Grab the terrace there. The terrace is there. Okay. Well, that helped a little bit. Yeah. Auditing the terraces is tough. Alright. Have our road here. That will help. But yeah, I need to try and secure this coastline. So that's Ishma, and Chan Chan. Okay. Alright. We'll figure it out. Expand the gravel road network. I'd love to. Okay. The question is where to? You know? I don't know. Logically, I want this region to be kind of actually connected to the market. So even if it's not the most efficient, there's like a voice of me that's like, yeah, you go down here, and like start building up to Chinche. You know? And like, that might not be a terrible idea. Alternatively, I can build into somewhere that's actually pretty well developed, like Yunka. I think if I connect up Yunka, because it does already have like 6 levels of lumber and everything else here, and actually a boatload of like people settled. And I think in the near future, probably a solidly growing industry. Although it's tough to say. Fruit orchards are good here. There should probably be a sawmill. You know, we can get 7 lumber and then 10% output. That's good. I don't know. The profit per level is only 0.2 when it has that control already. I think I've just managed to get enough lumber. It's not really needed anymore, like as aggressively. I feel like salt is always kind of good, so it'll be 95 gold to extend out there. Sounds good. All right. It'll take 2 months. That's fine though. 92 now. Nice. It got cheaper. For a brief moment, anyway. This road still isn't even done. But yeah, salt is, I think, pretty good. Like, it always generally seemed to be giving me money before, so. And with only being 2 hops away, we'll have decent control here. Yeah. rest. I wonder why the hop is there. Yeah, so either way, we only get like, yeah, our 16%. Yeah, no. Cease the missionary efforts for a little bit. That's fine. You know, we're playing the waiting game here. Inti is spreading throughout all of our lands. Aymara is our largest culture. Completely unaccepted. I can't even tolerate them. Thankfully, since it was integrated by vassal, like, a lot of it is, like, there is at least some conversion of culture going on. It is pretty bad. But, like, some is better than none, you know? Recruits flock to the standard, yay. But I'm hopeful that, you know, a massive increase to control here from the road network and the Tambo and everything will mean that this will produce, like, over 1 profit per level. Can you guys stop it? The number of fucking times I have replaced this man. It is not okay. Alright. I'd really like to get the colonial charters done on the coast, though, and accept the China and them. I want a nice, long, united front against the Europeans, you know? No holes through. Yeah, so access to lumber, but somehow this doesn't produce very much money. Alright. And supposedly the maize here is incredibly valuable. And I should be building the crap out of this. It's probably true. But as usual, I just don't have very much money. You know, the more I increase my taxes, it just doesn't really help. We're down to only 3% crown power. I think that's just because, yeah, the Aymara regions. Alright, so yeah, I took this little valley. There's more down here that I don't know about, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Good. Yeah, the region is slowly but steadily changing. God, do I need to? Actually getting a decent enough number of Inca people, or Inca people. I don't know if it's even really worth it assimilating right now. It kind of feels unworth to do before the time, the pestilence, because I'm gonna end up with so few people later. You know, I think actually what I should maybe be doing instead is settling tribesmen. The problem is, you know, there's no way to really know until I actually get to the disease. It's 1482. The Europeans haven't made it here yet, which is always good to hear. Well, good. No one's showing up early. You know, you always hate it when people show up early to Thanksgiving. Alright. But yeah, so I'm going to look at getting this maize done. God. Sometimes the RGOs are only like $30 to expand, and sometimes they're a lot more. And everyone who goes to integrate Ishma just dies. Jesus Christ, guys. Okay, so this whole region's Ishma. Got it. Okay. There's apparently a decent bit of demand for wood. That does not stop. Isn't even working yet. Fair enough. Alright. Yeah, I can't even afford that. Is it just because Tukasa, maybe? Certainly could be. 0.62. There is salt here as well. So maybe we extend to here. There's the strategy here is tough, you know? I'm never really quite sure if I'm making the right decisions. Just try and settle tribesmen here for sure is a good decision, though. And just maybe this place will produce more food. Wouldn't that be nice? Because, like, this place is still struggling. Minus 39. Oof. Alright. Fruit orchards, farming villages, maize. Alright, the settlement of Rupa Rupa. Alright, well, among other things, that gives us access to build a mendicant. We will uphold the commons. I think that's actually very important for me to build. So, I need it. Because, as I understand, the mendicant's situation in the market is not very good. And it's one of the things that kind of holds up our colonial charters a lot. So. Another satisfaction minus 10, but... Lacking wild game and fruit, fair enough. Alright. God, some of the things do take forever to build here. Like, minting's not doing too bad, and the upper level's like 3 here. What's the upper level here? Also about 3. Yeah, this one just kind of has better control, so it works out for it. That's fine. Alright, so settle frontier. Yeah, I still have a million places I can settle, so I'm in no shortage. far away ones are really the ones I want to do, but I just don't have money for that. And like, do I just do somewhere suboptimal? The answer is maybe. Let me go into the hard political map mode. The Kokomas. Yeah, mendicants and dyes. Good stuff there. But again, part of the problem is everywhere, for the most part, is now outside of where I'm going to have any reasonable amount of control. And so it makes it tough for me to want to actually bother to settle most of this. But it's one of those things where, like, someday I'll have it. You know? And I guess that's what I gotta live for. Is that someday we will have it. I hope, anyway. Because being realistic... what is the most... Yeah. And select someone nice and young. I just gotta keep pushing on that. I can't annex for you for a while. Yep. God, I need to explore. But I must also develop. We don't have enough lumber. Seriously, though? You're telling me there's not enough fucking lumber in the market? Still? I guess the problem is it's in the Haunted Koala market, which may actually have functionally little to no source of lumber. Unless I look to develop it. Let's see, yes, Haunted Koala, let's talk live. Beauty. So yeah, that's no good unless we can get this sorted. Repay the loan. I guess that's part of the problem. And actually why it's so much cheaper to develop over here than south. I guess that's part of probably what has, whether or not I realized it, informed my decisions. So that's pretty reasonable. $187 to do that. Good God. Yeah, the problem is building a fucking road into the jungle is hard. So, unfortunately, that means I basically picked the wrong zone to settle, which sucks. Depends. What's the population here? Yeah, okay. Okay. But yeah, so this market just has no access to wood, basically. Which is going to destroy the construction capacity. I have a couple of provinces over here, but I don't know what they're going to have. There is lumber here. And even with my remarkably limited control, it is not terribly unworth it to be building here. Especially since that will just enable me to build in this market in general. This is not good. Yay. Yay, earthquakes. Anyway, Parliament. Fund the farming estates. Why, yes. Woman, Karba, and Ishma. Yeah. Another maze level there is always nice to see. Where is Ishma anyway? Over here. Yeah, fair enough. I'm also wondering if it targets areas or if it targets locations, because the game is actually very bad at informing me about that. To mess over this. Okay, yeah, it targets specifically 2 locations. Pomada and Hantaquala now, apparently. That isn't where I was hoping that was going to come in, but okay. It's interesting that may just change sometimes. Yeah. Extra levels there. The region ain't bad, you know? Okay. Yay! I love taking random hits of stability all the damn time. Honestly, whatever. Let's stop investing in stability. 40 is fine. You know? I need the money. More than I need anything else right now. This place is struggling. Okay. I'll invest a little in there to help it out. Shame I have no control here. Yeah, this Lumbergio's slowly starting to produce a little more. With any luck, this stuff will actually get built. $121 to build to there. Okay. Then I can start expanding the salt mine there. Okay. So this is right here. There's theoretically a building maybe that might make it more attractive. No, not one that I can build anyway. Which, fair enough. The gems are proving pretty valuable, at least. Honestly, even that wool is not bad. Just keep building here, you know? Develop the wool. Like, our tax base is improving a lot. And it's really just a matter of me getting enough, like, tax base that I can keep developing our minting and everything else, or, well, our gold mines. And the gold mines really do provide a lot of money. For level is literally almost 4 here. This place has a road, so you know what? Build a bloody Tambo. Give me that extra control. This is how we operate. Get more and more money. Ain't. So good. Plus 205%. I'm happy to see that number because that means it's plus 5% during, you know, the freezing winters. And eventually this should get done, I hope. God, I hope anyway. Gravel roads are getting built. Okay. Yeah, profit level's already at 0.2. In favor of neither party. Several of these places have actually managed to hit 0 tribesmen, which is always good to see. In theory, I think, yeah, our proximity to capital is actually improving a lot, because the relative amount of tribesmen has been dropping. Comedy Urumi. That's fine. I don't even really know where Urumi is, but sure. I think that's settling this frontier, so that's fine. Can build irrigation here. I don't really want to. Yay, more traditional economy. Even though we're slowly drifting to capital. Yeah. Build some gems here. .7 profit per level is not bad. Unfortunately, everything I want to build is ironically kind of stopped right now. 0.56 maze. Due to road construction blocking it. Right. I could build the gravel road down to Yunka. It's so expensive. You know what? Instead of that, I just set up the sail from Chinche, you know? Let's do that. Let's expand our horizons a little bit. We're growing as a people. Unfortunate. Our population is stable at least. Like minus 98. You know, when we're not having an earthquake anyway. Is not bad. I'd still like to actually build the road down to Yunka. Let's improve the proximity to capital. Like this region's good for development. You know? region's ripe. Since it's already got so much development, it just seems super worth. Alright. Control setting up to 44, should go to 50, yeah. So start building salt here. And a Tambo. Sorry. I said Tambo. So we're going to start developing there. Yeah. Like, we're slowly growing. Exploration mission's a bit expensive, but that's fine. So we do have a source of mendicants now, which kind of makes me want to try building colonial charters. You know, it's the age of discovery and all that. But we do continue to grow. Charcoal kiln. Why can I not build a charcoal kiln here? Oh, no, I can't. It's just for some reason doesn't provide very much profit. I figured it would. But alas. Build a sawmill in Yunka. Might as well just improve the productivity here by 10%. Swear to God. We lose a lot of ministers. Holy shit. The road network finally got expanded out here. And control's rising. I guess maybe that's also why maize here is so profitable. Because it's this market. That actually kind of does make sense. One more month, then I can start expansion here. Oh, good. We discovered much more of the coast along here. Good to see. Religious arts. And we'll expand the gravel road network. Get a little serfdom going, sure. But yeah, that kind of tells me just how fucked up this southern market is, and I do need to work on it. Yeah. Keep pushing on those nobles. They're still a lot more powerful than I'd like them to be. No, definitely the tax efficiency. Given just how bad everything else is around here. The clergy are slowly becoming no small chumps either. I have to be careful with that. Shame I didn't really have anywhere to expand the gravel road network to there, but that's fine. Alright. Yeah. Sawmill helps ensure we have enough wood. Continental Plateau. Ah, tin. Nice. Yeah, fruit is incredible this level. But also, of course, so are these. Which... I don't know, apparently lumber mills make no profit. Potential profit's 0.64, right? But it's just we have no control here. Burgers can fuck off. Anyway. So 0.71 to create a colonial charter here. 0.711 to create a colonial charter here. Where to send pops from? Do it. Yeah, I wouldn't mind settling this region. It may take some time, though. I think colonial charters make a lot more sense once the area kind of dies. Settling the frontier works for now, though. That's our best way to do it. Alright. I know, settling Yumi is almost done. Good. Just send the exploration over there. Yeah, alright. Okay, so this region is simply referred to as Terrapaka. What is here? Salt, saltpeter, silver, chili, salt. Not exactly appealing. If we go further south, not exactly appealing either. Yeah. Problem is there isn't really much that is actually appealing there. The goal is really just taking as much territory as I can to deny it to others. Alright. And then there's also this region in here that I would like to explore when it becomes possible. But, as I say, I'll just still want to definitely continue settling the coast here. And for now, I think I'm going to call the episode here. Alright. Send them. Alright, so we'll soon have that. And we'll be a little bit more of a cohesive looking empire. I'm also going to look into trying to get in here. There is like the rest of Argentina and stuff here. We're just going to keep becoming longer and longer. Eventually I'm probably going to end up having to move my capital coast side, as I've sort of talked about. I think that will happen in 1637. Once I have the Columbian exchange, I think I'll be able to plant wheat even in like the desert. That should be fine. God, I hope. And then I can solve a lot of food problems. So thank you everyone for watching. I've been your Leo Kelvin, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, folks. Have a good night.